too now. Consumers we're starting to read the labels
a
little bit more. Sometimes we don't want to know. To find out the sugar content in products. And guess what? Food companies have found ways to still outsmart a lot of us.
A new phone app called SugarChecked's may give you an advantage in the struggle to spot added sugars or artificial sweeteners. Joining us this morning is SugarCchecked nutritionist Tory Tedrow. Good morning, Tory.
Good morning.
So this app, a group of nutritionists are behind it. What are the 4 types of sugars that are targeted, and how does it work?
Okay, so our app, it identifies added sugars, artificial sweeteners, sugar alcohols, and low-calorie, naturally derived sugars.
Okay.
How does the app actually work? I'm about to buy this or eat this. How do I use it?
So you can scan the UPC code on any product, and it's going to pull up the info, and it'll show if it has any of those sugars that I just talked about, and it'll list the ingredients, and it will bold the actual sugar, the ingredients that include sugar in them.
So I think we kind of already have an idea that most sugars that end in the OSE, right, fructose, glucose, sucrose, aren't maybe so good for us, or they tend to make us think that they're not so good for us. What are the scientific names that are used to hide sugars, right? Because sometimes we look at these, we don't know that that's a sugar.
Right. So those actually are the scientific names, but then there's a whole myriad of other names as well. So yeah, consumers are pretty familiar with the O's, but there's also things like anything ending in syrup, glycerin, those are other names as well.
You say sometimes the food companies use this divide and masquerade tactic. Explain that, if you would, please.
So ingredients have to be listed by weight, with the most prevalent ingredient first. So instead of just saying sugar as one of the first ingredients, they'll use a lot of those different names, you know, the sucrose, the glycerin, those kind of things, and they can kind of pepper them throughout the ingredient list, so it doesn't just, you know, call out sugar.
So does this app offer a healthier alternative to a product? Let's say we want to eat this, and what does it say? It says no, don't eat it, it blinks, it buzzes?
Right. No, it does not say no.
Okay.
All foods can fit, but it will show, you know, what sweeteners are in the product, and it'll offer alternatives. So if you're avoiding sugar alcohols or artificial sweeteners, all the products are categorized, so it'll give you an appropriate alternative.
As long as it doesn't like send a text to my wife, he's about to buy this, red alert. I imagine this would be very helpful for people struggling with diabetes.
Yes, it's very helpful because it's a learning tool because people begin to recognize some of those words for sugar that they might not know, so people can become more familiar with the sugars that they're eating.
I also wonder, when you look at, let's say, a yogurt, you know, and it has 10 grams of sugar, because it has the label that kind of categorizes the percentage of sugar. Is there a number that we should be looking at? You know what, it's not worth eating this because it has too high of a percentage of sugar in it?
We don't have that label now. The USDA and FDA are working to include that in nutrition labels in the future. But as of right now, the dietary guidelines for Americans recommend less than 10% of your added sugars, or less than 10% of your calories come from added sugars, excuse me.
Is the app free, or is there a cost?
It is free, yeah.
All right.
All apps are free.
Want some more information? This is an app called SugarCchecked. That's what it looks like on your screen right there. You can get it in the App Store or their website. SugarCchecked is the information. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Tory.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.